When many people graduate from college and get a full-time job, they now think they're making all the money in the world. So they decide to go out and buy the most expensive thing they've always been dreaming of, only to find out the hard way that they cannot afford it. There are many financial mistakes you can make while you're in your 20s, but the odds are, you're probably already making one of them. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Financial Couch. So now that I'm graduating from college, I want to share with you guys some of the biggest mistakes people in my age range are definitely making. It hurts me to see this because I really don't want to see my generation struggle the way that they do. I feel very fortunate to come from a household where I was able to learn the importance of personal finance. And now I want to share that with you guys so that way you guys can learn as well. With that being said, let's just get right into the video. The first mistake you can make in your 20s is buying a car you cannot afford. Like I said earlier, when many students get out of college and get their first full-time job, they think they're making all the money in the world. So they think they can go out and buy a car for about 25% down and then just finance the rest. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right? The amount of people I see out of college financing a $50,000 car is just mind-blowing to me. And while the car is very nice, it really isn't worth it when you really pull back the curtain on what's going on in the background. Here's the reason why it is not worth it. So you get out of college making $60,000 a year. You decide to go buy a $50,000 car with 10% down. So you have $40,000 to finance. And let's just say your interest rate is around 6%, which is right around the national average. Depending on the length of the loan, that's an extra several $100s a month that you are just throwing out the window that you could spend on other necessities. The reason why this is just throwing away money is because, let's not forget, cars go down in value. This is especially true in the car's first 5 years of life, which is why you'll never see me buying a brand new car. So if you're like most people who aren't committed to paying off their car super quickly, it can get to the point where you're going to end up having to owe more on the car than the car is actually worth. It has been proven that new cars can lose up to 40% of their value within the first 5 years. So it's a good rule of thumb if you're in your 20s to not buy a car that's 5 years old or newer. I can't tell you how many people I see in my own personal life who just go and finance a $50,000 or $60,000 car and learning the hard way that they can't afford it. Most of the time they end up just reselling it because they just cannot afford the payments and they end up upside down owing way more than the car is actually worth. At the time I'm releasing this video, there are plenty 2016 and 2017 cars that are in great condition and will last you a very long time. And the best part is, the majority of their depreciation has already passed because they're past the 5-year mark. So you're getting a lot more value for your dollar if you buy a used car versus a brand new one right off the lot. So don't make this mistake. Just work diligently and save your money, and I guarantee you'll be able to buy that dream car one day in the future. The next mistake you can do is renting more than you need. I am personally guilty of this myself. I just recently graduated college last December, and I recently moved out to Texas to start a brand new career. When I got here, I had more money coming in than I had ever in my life before. So my girlfriend and I decided to go and get a 2-bedroom luxury apartment. And while we wouldn't change a thing and we love our apartment very much, my girlfriend and I decided that when our lease ends in the coming months, we would downgrade and go down to just a 1-bedroom. We initially got this 2-bedroom because we knew that we were going to have a lot of family and friends coming to visit us in our first year living in a brand new state. It worked out great for those times we did have family and friends coming to visit, but we quickly realized that most of the time that second bedroom is just sitting there empty and just collecting dust, and there's really no true value in paying extra money for an extra bedroom that isn't being used. However, it was a great decision for us in the first year, and we did enjoy the extra space. However, it just wasn't worth paying an extra $500 every single month for another year. This is not an uncommon thing for people in their 20s. People in this age bracket seem to always aim for the luxurious lifestyle because now they have money and they want to live while they're young. And most of them don't seem to factor in the costs because they're too blinded by the luxurious lifestyle to really care. And while I do love the luxurious lifestyle myself, I always remember to put my finances first because there's other things I want long term. And I want you to do the same. Before going out and just getting a really nice, super expensive apartment, take a minute to consider what you really want long term for you and your finances. In the end, this should play a role in your decision on where you decide to live, how much you're going to pay, and the lifestyle you're going to live. Because the decisions you make today will impact you many years, if not decades in the future. Whatever you do, just don't make an impulse decision right on the spot just because the tour you took was incredible and the leasing agent was super nice. Trust me, if you don't figure it out then, you'll figure it out later when it's too late. Moving on, the next mistake you're going to make in your 20s is that you're going out to eat way too much. There's always the argument people want to make that eating out is really not that expensive and it's not the main reason why they're broke. In reality, this is completely false because eating out really does add up really fast. A study found that the average American goes out to eat 6 times a week. On the other hand, if you just got your weekly groceries for about $100 or $120 every single week and just cooked your meals at home, at 3 meals a day for 7 days, that ends up being 21 meals for about $120. When you divide it out, that comes out to about $5.70 per meal. I want you to take a minute and think about where you can get a really nice quality meal for $5.70. Unless you're going to McDonald's. So just get groceries and cook at home, and I guarantee you it'll save you wonders in the long term. Not only will it save you money, but it's been proven to be a lot healthier for you as well. The problem is most young people just got out of college and cooking just wasn't on their mind of something to learn. They were able to go out quite often, and universities have meal plan options for students. This isn't a problem with people just in their 20s. I've seen people in all age ranges that just don't seem to know how to cook or want to cook at all. This is part of the reason why apps like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub are making so much and have grown to the way they are in the past 10 years. When they first came out, everyone said that it's ridiculous that anyone would pay almost double their meal just to have it delivered. These 3 delivery apps definitely proved everyone wrong. I mean, I kind of get it. Like, why would I learn how to cook when I could just pay somebody and have it delivered to my doorstep? The problem is, it's what's keeping you broke. When you really think about it, this should not be a really big issue. There are millions of recipes online that you can follow with maybe a handful of ingredients and take maybe 30 minutes of your time. If you really think about it, going and getting a meal at a restaurant is going to take you at least 30 minutes round trip anyway. So why don't you just stay home, follow a simple recipe online, and save yourself some money. Trust me, over your lifetime, you'll save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. And with this extra money, you can invest in other things, which includes investing in yourself for your future. The next mistake you can make is overinflating your lifestyle with any pay raise you get at your job. This is another problem that I am personally guilty of as well. Going from college to my full-time offer, I got a huge pay increase. I was bringing home a lot more money, and I thought I was the richest person in the world. Saving my money wasn't on my mind at all. All I wanted to do was go out and buy the things I've always dreamed of having in college. Some of these things included a brand new headset, a brand new laptop, and an adorable little 4-legged friend. Only one of those purchases was really worth it at the time though. I think you can tell which one I'm referring to. But I quickly realized when I started my full-time job that I saved absolutely nothing from my first 4 paychecks, and it was gone almost instantly. At the time, I was just not really on top of my finances like I am now. Out of college, I was getting paid a pretty good salary, and yet I saved none of it. Eventually, after 2 months at my full-time job, I was able to start getting more serious about my finances, and I began allocating money towards my savings for my long-term future. However, that's not the case for most people in my age bracket. What most people do when they get a pay raise is that they overinflate their lifestyle to match what they're making, and they will continue to do this for the rest of their lives. For example, a lot of people when they get a pay raise, they'll instantly go out and buy that brand new car that they've always wanted, even though they really shouldn't, and they should really start saving their money. They are already saving very little to begin with, so when they get a pay raise, do they contribute more to their savings? I wish they did. Instead, they continue to use their extra money to buy unnecessary things that are overly expensive. Nearly half of all millennials have been proven to be spending more on eating out than they are on their savings. So in theory, if something were to come up, these people would be struggling to make ends meet because they realize they don't have the savings in order to cover it. And then it hits them that they spent all their money on avocado toast and Starbucks. It is really simple to avoid this kind of lifestyle. Just get on a written budget, allocate a certain amount of money towards your savings, and then spend the rest on whatever you want. This will help you get disciplined, and it will help you see some momentum as you continue to build your savings throughout your financial life. It will also give you a great peace of mind as well, just knowing that if something were to come up unexpectedly, you have the money to cover it. And that alone can go very far. The last mistake you can make while you're in your 20s is by not investing. A study found that 66% of millennials have nothing saved for retirement and have nothing invested for their long-term future. I really don't think this is intentional, as opposed to it just being that they don't truly realize what the impact it could have if they save their money now as opposed to later. For example, let's just say someone the age of 25 is putting $100 a month into a normal retirement investment account, and they continue to put this $100 into this retirement account every month until they're ready to retire at the age of 65. So if they start at 25, that means they would have 40 years at $100 a month. And let's say they contribute this $100 every month to the account and nothing more. Over that time, just by contributing and letting the money sit in a normal stock market index fund with a conservative annual return of 7%, over 40 years they would have contributed $48,000 to the account, but with the stock market and its normal growth rate, it will have grown to almost $250,000 by the time they're 65. Not too bad if you ask me. However, let's say this individual decided to wait 5 years and begin investing that $100 into the account every month at 30 years old instead of 25. That means they would only have 35 years to save instead of 40. How big of a difference can that really make? Well, let's see. If they start at the age of 30 and add that $100 every month like we said earlier, by the time they're 65, that account would have grown to just $171,000. So that 5-year difference on when to begin investing caused an earnings difference of almost $80,000. That's a lot of money to forfeit in exchange for a few more cocktails at the bar. I know for a fact that almost everybody can come up with an extra $100 every month to put towards their retirement account. I mean, let's be honest. What are you really spending your money on anyway? And do you really need it at the end of the day? I guarantee you people of all ages are spending $100 on stupid things that they don't really care about or don't really need. But making this simple retirement account and contributing just a little bit to it every single month, by the the time you're ready to retire, that money will have grown to a lot more than you would have expected. And trust me, your future self will thank you. That being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button down below. I'm posting a brand new video on this channel every single week that you will not want to miss. We're just getting started here on this channel, and it would mean a lot to me if you guys would join me for the journey and hit that button down below. Take it easy, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.